Okay, good afternoon. My name is Tony Fesu, and my presentation is on an SME business management platform which we developed. You'd agree with me that SMEs are the backbone of most African economies and contribute largely to employment and GDP within the countries. However, most SMEs have operational challenges, including access to digital tools that's very low, um, inefficient processes for purchasing items or even keeping inventory. And they're also very poor with having customer engagement and customer management processes hard. Now, our task is to, or was to, um, enhance these SMEs with a digital business suite that can be run on a mobile phone or on a smart device. And it should have features like mobile POS, inventory management, HR capabilities, CRM capabilities, as well as having customer communication channels like WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, with payment and capabilities like bank cards and mobile money. To the organization, we hope that by implementing this platform, we can have better acquisition, engagement, and retention for growth of these SMEs that would be working with us. So before I continue, I would like to just give you a brief view of the classification of the SMEs. It's classified from micro SMEs to large SMEs, with the micro SMEs being the highest, having the highest estimated share of the market. And of course, with large SMEs having the lowest share of the market. Now, the top 5 challenges that these businesses face, and I would go through a few of them for lack of time, that we have a lot of paper and pen um, being used to track customer engagement or sales, inventory and expenses. And this leads to a lot of inefficiencies and human error for managing the business, the SME businesses. There's also inability to reach out to new customers, and even existing customers are not able to reach out to them because they don't have the tools to do this. And those of the SMEs that have the tools to do this, they are using Excel, WhatsApp, cash registers from different platforms. And this all becomes a cumbersome activity when they have to do even a small reporting at the end of the week or end of the month to know how much business they have done. To the organization, the problem was that it took a long time to serve SMEs. KYC processes at the branches were taking 7 to 14 days. And when SMEs have finished KYC and need facilities because they don't have very good bookkeeping, it takes a long time to be able to provide them these experiences. And of course, some of the experiences are even different across the different branches that we have. And this has led to a very high drop-off rate and low activation and limited SME wallet share for the organization. So my role whilst I joined the organization as enterprise architect, and I'm responsible to design the entire platform to ensure that the data flow for the onboarding is clean and accessible to different segments, so that whether it's a micro, a medium, or a large and SME, we can understand them and be able to provide targeted information to them. I work with cross-functional teams like product owners, UX designers, the technical teams in engineering, and then also the compliance team to be able to come up with the right um, capabilities that would make the platform bank worthy and market worthy as well. So I led the technical rollout, being the architect, the technical rollout of a pilot with a pilot SMEs that were put on the platform. And this was mainly because we had to tweak and designed the order to cash process that the SMEs as the customers come in, whether it was online or within the SME shop. Working with the commercial teams and retail teams, and even some of the corporate teams, we always had an opportunity to align the strategies that we had and the marketing that we had to put together to be able to obtain our goals. At the beginning, it was slow, but as the traffic grew, we had to work with the technology teams to make available more capacity to be able to take on the SMEs as they uploaded their products onto the platform. So I was mainly responsible for the end-to-end system architecture, and that powered the go-to-market strategies that I spoke about earlier on. And I provided technical inputs for the dashboards that both the SME owners needed, and then also our bank office teams required. So now the solution, we provided a unified digital first SME platform, which is also a mobile first platform, meaning that it was mainly on mobile phones. It was a website, but it was responsive. And we chose a website, not a native app, because we realized that most people didn't have phones that had a lot of space on it. So by using a website, you could just type in the URL and have access to the platform. And since it was responsive, whether it was on, regardless of the device that it was on, it was skewed to the screen. So you would have a space to type in your details very easily. So for onboarding, it was mandatory to use the Ghana card to onboard, and we had a tiered onboarding capability. So with everybody joining the platform would have to join logged on. Every SME will use their Ghana card to log onto the platform, and business verification information was not checked immediately. But once you did transaction up to a certain limit, it was required that you had your business registered. We noticed that a lot of the businesses were also not registered. And so this gave us an opportunity to, especially for those businesses that were performing very well, we helped them getting registered. And those of them that didn't have the documents with our tiered onboarding process, they didn't have a lot of hoops to jump to be able to sign up with their platform. Remember, at this point in time, they are not yet bank customers, they're just platform users. And so we didn't have to go through all the hoops that you need to open a bank account. But the minimum we have on the platform was to have your Ghana card, which is the official ID for the country. Now, we also said that it was a mobile first platform. So we leverage on our agent network and relationship managers who helped with onboarding the SMEs, especially those of them who could not use it. At times, some national service or direct sales agents were being used to help the shop owners in operating their platform for some time until they got used to it. So the offerings that was offered to the ecosystem was SME could subscribe to bookkeeping, invoicing, inventory management, and all these ecosystem tools helped the SME to now be able to know how much inventory they have, when they had to take stock, when the stock is finished, the stock levels, all of those information was being recorded. And with our bank integration, we're able to from a large extent, those customers that wanted to pay with bank cards or pay with mobile money were able to do direct integration prompts to their phones, and they were able to make their payments. However, cash was still a predominant mode of payment. So at the bank managers are able to see how much cash was at any SME's location, and so they were able to dispatch the cash in transit teams to go collect the cash depending on the threshold. And that service was also a paid service, so that improved some revenue at that point. So this was a simple sign up subscription model. And so you with just 20 CDs, you have access to the minimum package that had your inventory management and the retail manager. And so with one person or two people in the shop, you could actually use this very well, all the way to, you know, I mean, a complicated customer who could have APIs and more features that they wanted. And this ensured that the SME month on month, they were paying for this service, and we're making our revenue based on that. The impact to the SME business owner, you realize that they were able to um, transact with us, but when it came to opening an account with us, because we already have taken their Ghana card information, we had a very short time in onboarding them because we know their information. We also know their address, and predominantly most of the things that they need, we had it. The branch visits that they had to do to be able to get an account opened reduced because now with the information all online and on mobile, we are now able to call them to just confirm, and they can also click on a button and see they can open an account, and we can start the process from there. Okay, so um I mean, they had a lot of, they didn't have dashboards that they could see the health of their business, but with the platform now, they're able to see the health of their business. They are able to also do other sales, like sell airtime, which is something that moves very fast in the country, and customers could come to your shop, and you found out that the customer did not have airtime. So there's an arrangement with the bank, and bank already vends airtime on on other platforms. So we just used the same capability, and the bank got revenue out of that. To the bank, we saw a significant growth in the conversion rate of SMEs. I mean, the time to activate an account was reduced from days to just hours. And then, of course, there was a lot of revenue, especially based on the transaction that the SMEs were doing, and also the subscription fees that they were paying. So we had an internal NPS, and we realized that, okay, most staff were excited that this was a means of improving the interaction with SMEs, and our net promoter score with our small and medium enterprises was better, and I mean was growing very much. So cross-selling of products, we're able to now easily sell loans and other investment products to the businesses that were doing very well. And those of them that were not doing very well, we could now actually now see them sell training products to them and all other things. So the lessons learned from this whole exercise is mainly we had to have a lot of regulatory alignment to get this product off the shelf. Um, uh, our fintech partnership and firming up our fintech revenue model was something that we had to cross because most fintechs did not want to sell the platform to us. They wanted to run on a revenue model. So we had to also throw in some of the capabilities, like they being part of the teams that handheld or did the handholding of the customer onto the platform. And it was through to such agreements that we're able to come to a middle ground of operating a model that had a white label model that had a revenue share capability. So with a tiered onboarding model, you find out that most SMEs, most people didn't have the documents that we would typically need to open accounts. But once they were doing business with us and we knew what they were doing, we could easily locate them. A lot of the KYC requirements was already fulfilled by having these services. Our ecosystem, the banking, made life a lot easy. So yeah, we're able to transact and improve our revenue. Thank you so much for listening to me.